So the spreadsheet is set up to accept 3 constrained resources. In this example, we put in money, managers, and staff. For the sake of this illustration, let's change staff to IT resources. And you can put in what the constraint number is. In this case, we'll say it's 50. Now, what we'll also do within this is link these things together. So you'll see now it has a title of IT resources here, and if we scroll down to the graphs, for example, obviously all the labels and so forth change. So you have complete flexibility over which resources you want to put in. The projects are drawn forth from the tab when we did the initial project analysis. In this sheet, you're going to be choosing whether these projects are mandatory or performance. Mandatory is meant to represent projects which you have to do because they're mandated by head office or someone outside the organization, or you have to do them for regulatory reasons or legislative and so forth. So you can put those in, and the bottom line is with those mandatory projects which you have to do, they're going to consume resources anyways. So whether you choose them or not, they're going to get done, and therefore they're going to get included in the analysis. The second spot here allows you to choose other projects. We'll come back to this one in a minute. And then you can put in how much resources from up here each of these projects is going to consume in terms of their execution. So what this spreadsheet does is it calculates for the projects which have to be included, whether it's because they're mandatory or you've chosen them, what resources are consumed, and it takes a look at the impact that you did in this analysis, and based on that determines how much of the gap will get closed. So I'm just going to zoom out for a minute and you can see how the spreadsheet will work. So in this case, let's change this back to being a performance metric, and it's not chosen, and you'll see that each of these bars end up changing. So I'll just change it and select it as yes, we want this one to go ahead. And if you watch, of course, it consumes resources and it moves some of the red dots. And so if the initial work that we did on the project analysis that produced this chart assumed that you had infinite resources. So that chart, of course, would look like this if we approved each and every one of these projects. This chart now looks like the chart on the other tab. But we're also seeing that if we were to release them all, although we haven't consumed all of the available funds, we require more managerial time than is allocated and more IT resources. So you might have to go back and unallocate some of these. So if you watch IT resources, you can see this project consumes a lot of them. So if I came back and chose not to do this one, so I go to no, you can now see that in fact I can run with this portfolio of projects. I'm going to close this amount of the performance gaps and consume this amount of resources. So this isn't automated. You have to sort of figure out for yourself how to best optimize across the available projects and choose a portfolio of projects which give you the most strategic impact without exceeding the available resources that you have.